Hi, everybody. It's Dr. Heather Deniston with the Junk You Should Know Show. Here we are again on Friday at noon PST, and I am so excited to welcome Merrady to the show today. Merrady comes from the Detox Market, and she is their basically content strategist, content and education. So who more perfect to have on the show? Welcome, Merrady. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, I'm so glad. And I've been using the Detox Market for many years. I don't know how many years. How many years have you been around?
The Detox Market has been around almost 8 years, and I was a customer for a long time before I worked for the Detox Market.
Okay. So that's great. Yeah. So you saw it from both sides, and I discovered them on some Facebook ad or something. And then when I looked into it, I'm like, what the what? Like, this is for real? And it is. So before we get into the whole skincare thing, because that's our main focus for today, can you just tell me a little bit about what the Detox Market is so people just know where you're coming from?
Yeah, absolutely. So a few years ago, a family friend of our founder, Ramon Gaillard, had breast cancer. And she was kind of on this quest to detox her life and was eating healthier. And when she told him, also these products are toxic, he thought she was nuts. He thought she was kind of a conspiracy theorist. And, because he comes from Paris, where when you go to buy skincare, there's people in white lab coats and they're recommending skincare to you. And so, he just was like, okay, I get eating more vegetables and less processed food, but cool it with the products, lady. He just really didn't believe her. And so she really insisted. And so he started doing a lot of research and realized just how unregulated the cosmetics industry is in the United States. So it's in the United States, in the 90s, they banned a few more ingredients. We have about 33 banned ingredients via the FDA, whereas in Europe, it's about 1,300 and even more in Japan.
Oh my goodness.
It's kind of the wild, wild west. With, the main ones that it was literally when cosmetics got industrialized around the invention of mascara, I think turn of the century, 1920s, women were literally singeing off their eyelashes and burning their skin because people were just putting whatever they wanted in a bottle and selling it. And while that, luckily, because there are a few banned things and there's the internet, people don't want to get sued. But these really big companies, their bottom line is, kind of making money, and they're not necessarily thinking about the most quality, wholesome ingredients they can give to you because it's really expensive for the companies to create that kind of a product. A gallon of jojoba oil versus a gallon of mineral oil is going to be a lot more expensive. So it makes sense that these cosmetics giants would want to use the cheapest ingredients possible. So the Detox Market started because a few years ago, there were really just a few health food store brands, and then a handful of really exceptional brands with really passionate founders, really beautiful, thoughtful products. And they sought these founders and these products out, and they did a pop-up shop. It was in Venice Beach, California, and they just did it because they were like, isn't this cool? Did you know this? This is cool. We want to share this with our community. And they were sort of, they had juice and tea and their friends were coming by. It was just in a little bungalow. And then the community was really hungry for more. So they opened up their flagship in West Hollywood. And honestly, it stayed pretty quiet for a few years. They opened, some more locations. There's 3 in Toronto now. We have 2 more in LA, and we just opened a really beautiful flagship in New York City this last month, which we're super excited about. But for a few years, even when I would go shop, it was still just kind of a quiet little niche boutique. And suddenly in the last few years, you have this explosion of wellness awareness. And suddenly green beauty is the fastest growing sector of cosmetics. And it's just blowing up. And it's so funny because we're kind of like, oh, yeah, we've been here. It's something we've been doing. So the idea, and I can ramble all day, but the idea basically is that, you want to eat as well as you can and take care of your body as well as you can. And we're not about the whole scare factor technique. Listen, people who eat garbage food their whole lives and smoke and drink and they're perfectly healthy. Same can go for your cosmetics. Some people can just use anything and they're fine. I came to natural products. I was a makeup artist for 15 years before. Not only did I really suffer from acne, I was on Accutane and retinols and had horrific skin, and I'm not in the best light, but I don't anymore. I also have advanced endometriosis, which means I have to be really careful about having too much estrogen in my body, which a lot of preservative systems and fragrances really can have a profound effect on your hormones. So for someone like me, suddenly my personal care products get really important. So while it's not something we do not encourage people to like freak out and dump out their whole aprons, you know, it's just like having that awareness, just like with your diet. You're still going to eat birthday cake sometimes.
Yeah.
You have that glass of champagne sometimes, but you might not have it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner because you know what the effects would be. And that's kind of how I look at green beauty. You know, you might still have your favorite department store lipstick or whatever, but if you can use more natural things as your sort of choices and day to day, that's really where the effect comes in.
Yeah, I think that's good. And let me just stop you there for a sec, because some of the things you've said, I've got some questions of. I want to first welcome, thank you, Kim, thank you, Barb, thank you, Hillary, for joining live. I love it when people are here live, and if you're watching in replay, welcome to you too. But let me just say, I did a little, as many of you know, I'm a chiropractor by trade, and I did an experiment with my staff one day. One morning I said, okay, tomorrow morning, I want you all to count the number of products you use from the time you get up till the time you come to work. And we were all stunned. Like, I think I had probably 28 products by the time I was done, between shampoo and conditioner and lotion and makeup and hairspray and perfume and whatever it was. And
Girl, so my own heart if you're using 28 products.
So I think it's really your point saying that the idea of transitioning to green beauty, simplify it by just, when you run out of something, reach for what's the green beauty alternative for it, and kind of slowly start to turn over your products, because it's not one product, it's the layer, like you said, the whole estrogen thing. It's the layering of hairspray and lotion and all of that that's estrogen dominant pushes us in the wrong direction. And so I think that's really powerful. And so I did not know that the Detox Market had their first store in LA, then they opened in Canada. Because I'm Canadian. I'm Canadian.
Very passionate customer who visited LA many times and insisted they come to Toronto. And
oh, funny. Okay, that's great. Well, just for those that are listening, this is not a Detox Market advertisement, but the detoxmarket.com, just go check it out. I get their monthly box delivery because I like to be exposed to what kind of the latest and greatest curated, beautiful, organic or green beauty product is. And I am still in the process of working on transitioning as much of my stuff over as possible. Yes, for sure it does. And so you were a makeup artist. So tell me a little bit about that and what you've seen as far as makeup goes, what you've seen as far as how it's, because there's crappy green stuff out there too that I just don't want to use because, you know, the mascara runs all over my face or whatever. So talk to me a little bit about what you've seen happen in makeup over the last little bit in green beauty.
Sure. And just to confirm what you said before about the layering of products, a lot of ingredients that are deemed safe in certain percentages do not take into account how many products you're layering. So while one product is okay, then when you put on 12 products without ingredients, that's when it starts getting into levels that no one accounted for.
Interesting. I never thought about that either. So,
but yes, to makeup, one of my favorite things. I actually personally use all natural makeup on myself now, with the exception every now and again, if I have like a wedding or something, I might use like a waterproof eyeliner or something. It's your birthday cake, you know.
That's right. I like how you described that. That's right.
Yeah. So makeup has come leaps and bounds. So as I mentioned, I was an acne sufferer, and I figured out that some of my triggers were the mineral oils and fragrances and pegs and silicones were really congesting my skin. And when I tried to come and find natural beauty, everything was powder. And the only liquids I could find kind of separated and were terrible. And then I finally stumbled on my first kind of green beauty product that took me down the rabbit hole was the RMS Uncover Up. I don't know if you know RMS.
No.
So Rosemary Swift is a makeup artist who works on Giselle and Miranda Kerr, and she's amazing. And her line is very much for the everyday woman. It's little pots of color, and you just sort of put your fingers in and put it where you need it. It's meant to be put in your purse, and it's all made with raw coconut oil. It's really easy and lovely. But it was the first product, and this is years ago, where I was like, oh, this is amazing. And it's still a staple in makeup artist kits. But now, here we are a few years later. I help vet products for Detox Market, and I swear there's a new makeup brand coming out every day.
Wow.
Now that it's the fastest growing sector in beauty, suddenly labs are getting on board, formulas are getting better. It's getting really amazing. And actually for me, now there's been a couple times I was like, I wonder if I still want the conventional. Is it fun sometimes to do that? And I'll reach into my old pro kit, put on all of the sort of, stuff that I would have previously used. And I just actually don't love how it looks as much. I don't feel like I can see my skin. It doesn't feel modern.
Yeah.
What I like about beauty products that are more natural is they're usually based with a lot of skincare ingredients. So they work really synergistically with your skin. They kind of feed your skin. And therefore, you're looking kind of enhanced. It's not like you're wearing a mask, because things that have a lot of silicones and petrolatoms, they tend to float on top of the skin. Whereas the natural products, they sort of dive in and they work with your skin. So while that's positive, it also means you have to really find the right fit for you.
Yeah.
Because the wonderful thing about a conventional foundation is you just kind of put it on. It's like a layer of paint. It's like, cool, did it, done. Whereas with natural products, you're taking into account, what is my skin type? What is my skincare routine? These are really extra important in natural beauty because you're picking out formulas that work with everything else that you're doing, the other steps. So it's like the layering process has to kind of make sense for your skin, but it's getting so easy and so fun. If you're not near a store that offers natural beauty, you can take advantage. Detox Market has a sample program. You can order samples of things. Our blog has a ton of fun articles on different beauty products. But it's so fun now. I find myself, it used to be that I had my makeup and my pro kit. And now it's bled in and bled in, bled in. And now the main things that I use sometimes for red carpet or brides that are not green are going to be, a waterproof mascara.
Yeah.
So one day you're going to cry. Waterproof. Although there's a Green Beauty waterproof mascara that's coming that I'm really excited about. So again, technology's getting better. And then again, pencils that are completely waterproof.
Yeah.
Not in Green Beauty. There's cream, there's high pigment, there's the Zuzu Luxe liquid liners. They stay very well. If you want something really waterproof, that's where I kind of dip into my conventional.
Yeah, that makes sense. So question, because you talked about, or we kind of referenced, and I see this in the supplement industry too, which I'm a very big part of, is there is really no FDA regulation. Once something is bottled and packaged, it's never checked or vetted again for content and purity and all of that.
When it's bottled.
And maybe not checked when it's bottled. And that's right. I mean, the first time when it, passes through to get on shelves. And like you said, even then it's maybe not. So let's put Green Beauty under the microscope. So if I'm somebody who's making a bunch of cosmetics, what regulations, and can I just slap natural, organic, Green Beauty? Like, how is that regulated so that I know when I spend the extra money to get something that is called green, how do I know that it is that much better?
I mean, you're striking on something interesting, which I'm asked all the time, which is what is Green Beauty?
Yeah.
And the answer is it's not anything. It's everything and nothing. It's not regulated. It's not a regulated term. It's a catch-all phrase that we use for products that are generally, free of ingredients that we have found to be potentially irritating or hormone disrupting or endocrine disrupting. We fine-tooth comb these ingredients. And to your point, I think this is why what we do is really important, because there is so little regulation. So when we're vetting a brand, we're meeting with them, we're asking a lot of questions. They have to fill out extensive questionnaires. We're testing the products. We're flipping it over. We're looking at the ingredients. Every once in a while, there is a brand where the ingredients that it says is in it doesn't match up, or there's sort of like an asterisk or contains a proprietary blend. And you're like, what's in that? Yeah. So it takes a really savvy group of people. It's daunting. I'm an expert. I've been in beauty for 20 years, and it still takes a team of experts for us to comb through and say, is this what it says it is? Is this really a good product? Who is the founder? Is it a bunch of investors, or is it a very passionate person who is, lab testing every single ingredient as it comes in and testing every product and really making sure that this is an efficacious, safe product? And so you're right. There are definitely, and that's something that when green beauty first started happening, you had a lot of kind of mom and pop green beauty people
making it in their
selling
kitchen.
stuff at farmers markets,
Yeah.
and they still exist kind of on Etsy. And while I think that's really great, you have to be careful, because when you have a cream that has actually no preservative system and no testing, you know, if something like that turns, which it will really quickly, you know, that's mold growth in product is just as bad for your health system.
Yeah, interesting.
As like a paraben. I mean, really, there's molds that are as dangerous as parabens, and so you just
interesting.
And not to be all fear factor about it, but if you're going to make your own products or buy from someone who's making their own, stick it straight in your fridge, use it as quickly as possible. I love the idea of people making their own skincare. There's books about how to make your own skincare. The nice thing about green beauty, so a lot of people feel like it's not inclusive because it is a little more expensive.
Yeah.
Because the nature of it is that you can't make a green beauty lip gloss for the same price as a Wet n Wild lip gloss.
Yeah, right. That's right.
You know, it's a smaller company. It's higher end ingredients. You know, people are usually hand crafting these things. It's very independent still. And so I love something. There's a skincare brand that we carry called May Lindstrom. It's very luxurious. I mean, it is luxurious. It's gorgeous. She uses like rare blue tansy, and it's all just gorgeous. But she tells people, she's like, you can take care of your whole skin from head to toe with items from your pantry. You absolutely can. She's like, what I make is a luxury. It's an indulgence. And if you can afford that, or you feel like
you want to spend that kind of money
in your budget for that, you know, skip the Frappuccino, get the skincare product, you know, or eat out a little less, or whatever your priorities is. Everyone has a different budget. But listen, I've been, you know, broke and prioritizing, and, you know, and DIY skincare can totally, you know, there's single ingredient oils can be some of the best things for your skin.
For sure. Yeah. And I think that's taking the intimidation factor out of that. Like you said, there's tons of resources. I do want to touch on one thing you mentioned, because it goes back to my supplement thing. When I'm educating people about supplements, I'm like, you can go to Rite Aid and you can purchase a supplement that says natural on it, but the whole thing is now, because you're saying, you know, green beauty doesn't necessarily have the regulations, then you have to go to, well, who's putting it out there? Who is doing the background check for you? And so something like a Detox Market or another reputable green beauty sourcer. Yeah, you find somebody you trust.
Either you become an expert, or you find someone that you're like, this is a retailer that resonates with my values, or this is a maker, a brand, an esthetician, a makeup brand, where I'm like, you get me.
Yes.
You have the same values as me. And it could be different values. Some people are just into, you know, kind of clean beauty. So there's a really persistent fly in my room.
Hilarious. We were worried about your dog. The fly.
But yeah, there's going to be someone with a price point that makes sense to you, with an ethos that makes sense to you. Are you the raw vegan of skincare, or are you kind of the clean eater of skincare? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like,
no, I do.
Find something that resonates with you. And what's fun about green beauty getting bigger is it's allowing some of the brands actually to get more affordable, because they're able to buy in bigger bulk and they're distributing to bigger. So we're getting a lot more accessibility in skincare and beauty. And it's really fun for us at the Detox Market to get to really start thinking about, you know, entry-level price points, more luxurious price points, and really making sure there's something for everyone. And it's really great. It's really exciting. It's an exciting time to be in natural beauty.
It definitely is. That leads me into two additional questions. And the first one is,
you're a little bit frozen.
Oh, there I am.
There you are. I was like, I don't know what to do.
Okay, if that happens, keep going.
Okay, I was just waiting. You had a question, so I'm patient.
No, I did. Yes, and if I do freeze again, for some reason I am having a little bit of problems this morning. This is the second interview I've done, but I'll text you if it looks like we need to restart. Okay.
So
my question is this. let's say I am a person who is like, oh my gosh, I'd never thought about how toxic skincare can be and how I need to think about it in the same way I think about eating whole food, blah, 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 blah. What are the basic nasty ingredients? What are some of the basics that I just really need to watch out for?
Yeah, I mean, for me, and again, it's not about scare factor. I look for petrolatum, so anything sort of mineral oil based, which is going to be mineral oils and paraffins and things like that. Those really don't belong on your body. They provide a barrier function, but they're not actually hydrating you.
Okay.
I think everyone knows about parabens now.
Yeah. And what is it that there's been studies that show that they cause certain problems, or they're just a bad chemical?
Parabens are, listen, if you get talking to a scientist, it's kind of that thing about percentages. They're like, at a low percentage, it's fine, it's inconclusive, it doesn't necessarily cause cancer. The thing about parabens that we know is that they do mimic estrogens in the body. So if you are someone who has too much estrogen, it's just a no-brainer to skip it.
Yeah.
And there's other ways to preserve things now, really in natural, whether it's, rosemary or vitamin C or, radish root. There's different ways to preserve things that, oh goodness, it wants to just be, it's in love with me. I have a fan. Parabens are a big one. One of my big ones that I think people don't think about is synthetic fragrance. I am a big fan of cutting out synthetic fragrance because fragrance, just the word fragrance or parfum on an ingredient label can mask up to 3,000 ingredients.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's proprietary and it can have things like phthalates in it and hormone disruptors and things like that. So a lot of women are, eating really clean and doing really well. And then they're like, oh, I'm using this like natural thing, but then it has fragrance in it. Like dryer sheets are kind of terrible for you when you look at them.
Yeah, interesting.
Little woolies with a little lavender oil instead.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So, and listen, you were talking to someone, my fridge, I had a whole shelf of fragrances. I love fragrance. And 8 years ago, there were not natural fragrances that I loved, let me tell you. Now there are some really incredible perfumers coming out. So that was a big one for me. But look on your ingredient list where it says parfum or fragrance. And if it does not have an asterisk that says, made with essential oils or made with botanical oils, then that's a red flag for me, especially on your children.
Yes.
When little developing bodies, especially young women, it has a hormonal effect. And so there's just no need for that to be on them.
Well, and it's a catch-22 because it's these 14, 15-year-old girls going to the drugstore and picking up the cheapest fragrance they can afford, which is probably the worst one. Yes. And so that's, it's getting back to your thing about your pantry, getting some peppermint oil or lavender oil or whatever, even just going to something as simple as that and getting away from.
And if you have a local farmer's market, there's probably someone, and that's something that I actually do like on Etsy. There's some really fun little fragrance houses that are doing kind of inexpensive fragrances, but we have.
That's nice. Oh, now she froze.
I love for young girls. We have. Am I back?
You are back. You are back.
Good. There's a brand that we carry called Leilani. It's out of Hawaii, and she does these little fragrance roll-ons, and they smell. Some of them are more sophisticated, and some of them smell like coconut or candy. And I love recommending that for teenage girls because it's like, they're not missing anything. It's still cool and fun. Let's see what else. Pegs. They are basically kind of plasticizers that are in your products.
And does it actually say pegs? I've never seen
dash, and then it's PEG caps dash, and then it's like a number. It makes things feel slippery, but it's actually like a plasticizer. It's no business being on your body.
Oh wow!
I was in beauty for 20 years, and then became a writer, and I would write things, and I'm not going to name names, but I would be writing about a $600 serum. And I would flip over the box and look at the ingredients, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? There is nothing." It's a lot of it. Whether it's $10 at your drugstore or $600 at a luxury store, it's a lot of fillers.
Yeah.
The first ingredient is water or mineral oil, or it's fillers. And honestly, as a consumer, for me, honestly, it's not just about the scare tactics. I want real stuff on my skin. I want the good stuff. Like, give me real nourishment and plant-based ingredients. Yeah. Whether they have some science involved, or they're more simplistic, and there's both.
Yeah.
I don't want fillers.
Yeah.
What am I doing putting something all over my face every day if it's just propylene glycol and mineral oil?
I agree. And
they're at the bottom of the list, number 40. Here's the active ingredient, you know?
Right. You just listed another one, though. I think propylene glycol is one to watch out for as well, right?
Yeah, propylene glycol makes things feel really slippery and it makes it penetrate, but it actually changes the structure of the skin so things can penetrate. And it's like, oh. And then, of course, chemical sunscreens we want to avoid. Antiperspirants is a big one. You want to do that. But that kind of gets into like, we're naming all of these ingredients. People are like, oh my God. We have there's on the detoxmarket.com on the About Us, there's a list of ingredients that we ban. It's not all of the ingredients we ban, but it's the big ones. So
which is great.
And perusing, that's good. Don't freak yourself out, but there's a couple of websites I like. EWG has their Skin Deep website, which you can Google any ingredient and we'll give it a rating.
Oh, that's cool.
Not always perfect. Always do your own research. Read if it says it's referencing a study, go find the study.
Yeah.
And then there's the app called Think Dirty where you can scan products or look up ingredients there. That's really helpful.
Just stop for just a sec because you've just given a ton of awesome resources. So it's an app called Think Dirty, as in like.
Yeah, Think Dirty.
Okay, Think Dirty. And you can scan a product and it'll tell you like what the bad things that are in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll give it the rating. Okay, that is cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it'll tell you, and it's not every single product, but kind of, or if there's a product that you have and it's not on one of those sites, whether it's not on EWG or Think Dirty, you can Google the ingredient and just do your research. If you can't pronounce it, it might be totally safe or it might be something funky.
Yeah. Can you say that website one more time? What's it called?
EWG. It stands for Environmental Working Group.
Okay. And so you can go in there and kind of look, put in an ingredient or
ingredients.
Okay.
So sometimes, like I said, neither of these are perfect.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll read one and it's like, well, it's unsafe because of it could have this or it could have that. And then sometimes that ingredient is very safe depending on if it's sourced from China versus Italy. Like
I see
contaminants from China, but if it's Italian, it's safe.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the asbestos contaminants are only present from certain regions. That's when you start getting down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And so you kind of have to take those websites with a grain of salt and do your own research because sometimes brands are like, oh, actually, that can be totally toxic or unsafe if you breathe it into your lungs. But if it's this, then it's fine. Or, like mineral sunscreens are made with titanium dioxide and zinc, and you don't want to breathe nanoparticles of that into your body, but applying it as your sunscreen is totally safe.
Yeah.
In a certain
that makes sense. So, it does go back to what you said earlier, which is, we don't all have time to kind of sit and research this. So find a company or something like the Detox Market or a retailer that you really do trust or a product, like you say, who you have done enough research to know that they're doing the research that they need to be doing and are really, really vested in putting out good quality products, right?
Exactly. And people always ask how to switch. You can do something fun like a lip gloss or something really easy like a lip balm, but also think about what are you using the most of on the most of your body and what are the thinnest parts of your body? Yeah. There's no difference between, a natural body lotion is actually so much better than a non-natural one because it's got ingredients in it, right? So think about what am I using the most of, the most quantity all over. So body lotions, shower soaps, really important. Think about thin, absorbent parts of your body. Your underarms are a big one. Switching deodorant is daunting. We have a blog post I wrote about it. I highly recommend doing it. Winter is a great time to do it when we're not. Because it's an adjustment. Your body has to kind of detox from those years of antiperspirant.
That's a big
one. Your scalp is really absorbent. So even if you're using natural on your ends, what you're using to shampoo and like mousse or different things on your scalp, that's really, really important to think about switching out because it's just there's more blood vessels here. Yeah. So that's kind of the thing. Like, listen, your brow pencil is not going to have as big of an impact as your deodorant. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Just,
I think that's great. I'm just going to recap that. So guys, if you are starting to look at transitioning, it feels overwhelming from a cost or just time investment perspective, start with what you use the most of on the most of your body first. So Merrady's saying shampoos, conditioners, body lotions, those are big. And then areas of thin skin like your underarm, that's a big one. So it's just starting there. And then slowly, like when you pick up a product in your bathroom or in your laundry room or in your kitchen, just give it a little check and start to maybe make a little list of how you want to transition, because we're in a time, Merrady, I think you'd agree with me. There is more available from a green perspective now than there ever has been. You have lots of opportunity to switch over. And so it's very, very important. What are some of and we just touched on this a little bit when we talked about ingredients. And I know that you're big on not trying to freak people out, but the reality is the reality. And so are we do you think a big part of this is that we're seeing some of these cheaper products do have cancer causing ingredients, that they have true hormone disruptors and, DNA thing, is that a reality, or is that just like, I'm trying to freak you out to buy my product?
Listen, there's a reason why, you have to be careful with your sunscreens. I mean, chemical sunscreens, they affect the DNA. There are real clinical studies about these things. Mm-hmm. It's just there just is.
Yeah. And I figured so. I just, it is easy to use it as a marketing tool. And so sometimes
you prefer not to.
Right.
Really prefer not to. And I just think because, again, likening it to the diet, if you have like a really preachy vegan friend, you're not going to go vegan. Yeah. Tell you all the stats and all the information, how it's better for your body. And you're like, cool, I'm going to go have my burger now.
Yeah.
That's not the way to do it. It's like, have beautiful, enticing, gorgeous, effective products that are just made with better ingredients and work better. I mean, for me, my skin cleared up. I had horrible acne that I healed with natural products, and then found out about my endometriosis, and then was like, oh, good thing I'm using natural. I'm going to go even more natural. And now I'm careful with my diet as well. So it just, you can scare yourself all you want with studies and specific ingredients, but at the end of the day, do it because it's something that brings you joy. Mm-hmm. If you live in fear and you're doing things from a fear-based place, your body is going to produce stress hormones, and it's not.
That's not useful either.
I just think you should do it because you love it, because you love yourself, because it brings you joy. You don't want to be like begrudgingly using this like natural product that you hate. You have so much choice. Get something that smells lovely, that feels lovely, that makes you happy.
And I think that's a good point. As we start to wrap up, I think the idea is, like you're saying, 8 years ago, it was an exchange. So I'll go natural, but I have to reapply every 2 hours or it looks crappy. That's not the case anymore. You can find incredibly beautiful skincare products, makeup products, hair products that work, and you can be proud of using on yourself, and you can feel good about it.
Yeah, and as you use it, you realize they work, and that when you learn more about ingredients, then you start flipping over the drugstore and the department store ones, and you're like, why would I pay for this? What is this? So make it fun, make it joyful. Do it because you love it. That's the best advice I can give, is just do it out of a place of fun and exploration and discovery, and know that we're here to help. So, if you do choose to shop at the detoxmarket.com, if you can't make it to one of the stores, 3 in LA, 3 in Toronto, 1 in New York, our client services team, there's an esthetician and a makeup artist. They are fun and wonderful and lovely. It's hello@thedetoxmarket.com. They will answer you. You can send them photos. They'll advise.
Good.
Most of our clients are not in a city where we have a store. And so we're really well equipped. And our Instagram is really fun. We're really interactive on there. You can ask us questions. You're welcome to follow me on Instagram at Merrady, and, have fun with it. It's supposed to be fun. That's why we use all this stuff.
It absolutely is. And that brings me to the point, for listening today, and if you're listening in replay or live, this is going to apply. The Detox Market has been kind enough to supply coupon code today, and that is WellFit and Fed 15 to get 15% off your order. Is that right, Merrady? Am I saying that?
That's correct. Yeah, there's some exclusions apply, but pretty much the whole website.
Okay.
As you mentioned, definitely when you go to our website, click on the detox box drop down on the right-hand side, because the subscription box is a great way to sort of dip a toe into green beauty. It's always at least $100 worth of product, usually a lot more. It's kind of a different brand every month. We're not sending you boxes of samples. You're getting full size, really juicy boxes. There's some good, I know what's coming and it's really good. So.
Well, and I've been with the Detox Market for a long time, but I only just started with your box a few months ago. And what I like about it, well, I've always avoided doing those boxes is because a lot of times they'll send you, maybe it is even full-size products, but it's 5 or 6 products and they end up in a landfill in no time. And I don't need like this massive thing to try, but you are getting full-size product. But it's what I love is you typically, correct me if I'm wrong, you profile one sort of artist or maker of a product. And so you get to understand that line. And so like last month's was awesome. I've used it a ton. And it was
Giving Beauty, I've been using that for like 5 years.
Oh, it's so great. Yeah.
An olive oil jelly soap with like a mitt and you scrub.
Oh my gosh. It's my favorite so far. And so I'll put a link to that down below too, because I really did like that product.
To kind of get into green beauty and you're getting a crazy deal. And we try to vary it. It was like makeup, then skincare, then body.
Yes.
It varies a little, so you're not getting like 15 oils in a row.
Yeah, so I think that's great. And again, that's WellFit and Fed 15. But guys, really this show was more about just talking skincare, makeup. And probably my biggest takeaway today was the app you mentioned, which was what was it?
Think Dirty.
Think Dirty, not Get Dirty. Think Dirty. And then and all of this is listed below. Thank you to the Detox Market for putting up comments while we're chatting. The ingredients list you guys have on your website and the other, resources that you listed for that. And then also the idea of if you are just starting out, start with the thing that you use the most of on the most part of your body and switch that one out first and then slowly work from there.
So please take advantage of our team. We really do love educating. We really are here to help, and our business does exist because we actually, we're drinking the Kool-Aid. We really care. We've been here a long time. So
I love that.
Read our blog, hit us up. We're always coming from an education standpoint, and we do want to help answer questions that anyone has as they embark on, a partial or a full detox of their products.
Yeah, this was so hugely helpful. I really, really appreciate it, Merrady. I hope we can talk again in future because it's a great subject. And stay online after we sign off, but we'll say goodbye to y'all. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can click back to see all the comments and links here on Facebook. You can do that anytime. Just come back to Facebook and put in the Junk You Should Know show, and the Detox Market will bring it right up. And I think there's going to be quite a conversation going on down below. So come back, circle back around, because Merrady and I are going to be answering questions down below along with the folks over at the Detox Market. And don't forget to use that WellFit and Fed 15. I see I'm frozen. Coupon. Don't forget to Don't forget to use that WellFit and Fed 15 coupon, and share this show with your friends. You guys, please share it around. The subject of toxicity and skincare and makeup and all of that is really important. I think it's important to educate. So please share that around, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you, Merrady.
Bye.
Thank you.